got my Omnibuild hat on today. Wow, looking good.
Wow.
Episode 14.
Wow, even number.
I know.
I prefer even numbers. I don't know why.
You're an even guy.
I drove to a job in Grayson with Olivia yesterday, and you know, like new cars have like climate control on either side and volume and all these numbers, and I got in and I'm adjusting her climate so it's an even number and the volume and this, and she's like, I have an even number thing too. I was like, okay. Yeah, I was like, mine's pretty bad. Like, I sit in cars and I'm like, their heat's on 69, man. It's not good. And so, yeah, I'm glad we're on 14.
We can just go sequentially by evens if you want to just skip to 16 next time.
Yeah, we could just go straight to 100. This is the 100th podcast.
Subscribe.
It feels like the 100th. So I'm like, what am I going to talk about?
Well,
I don't even know.
It's been a while. We had a couple breaks in there.
Yeah.
We had some vacation and some conflict of schedules. So a lot's probably
I thought you were going to
happened.
say conflict on vacation, but that wasn't.
Not me, man.
No, I had a good time. We had a great time.
Yeah.
So we took a little vacays, and it was fun. See some sights, see some fam.
Mm-hmm.
It was good. Good recharge.
And, you know, you took some time off of work, got kind of unplugged.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. On that vacation, yeah.
Let the business sort of run on its own while you're gone. Anything crazy happen while you were gone?
I went 10x. I'm not the most important person. I think it went good. I think it's interesting because I guess like 5 years ago we started taking my number off of signs online, things like that, and using the office number. And the whole purpose of that was that every phone call came to me. Mm-hmm. And it's just too overwhelming. It's already overwhelming enough. And we've been setting up this system of like, that's what we're going to do. And it hit me on vacation this time. It's like, my phone's not ringing. Like, what's going on? Mm-hmm. Like, this is bad. And then I'm like, well, is it bad or is it good? I don't know. Like, it made me feel really uncomfortable. And it's probably like there's probably multi-level. I'm probably insecure because I'm like, nobody likes me anymore. Or like, there's issues and they don't want to tell me. And then I kind of changed my line of thought of being like, no, like, actually, everybody's probably just protecting me and doing what they need to do, you know, and they don't necessarily need me to make the decision. And it's actually a great situation. Mm-hmm. It turned, you know, I was talking with somebody the other day in work, and I was like, I'm trying not to look at problems as problems. I'm trying to look at a problem as what's the solution. And in my mind, I can go into it being like, this is a problem, and now I have to figure out this problem and live in the problem, or I can be like, there's a problem, let's get a solution, and go directly into that. And like, because I feel like when I uncloud my judgment of the situation, it like immediately I start thinking more about what I'm going to actually do to fix what's going on rather than live in what's going on, the problem. And that's like what it's like with, you know, I think my team is I have to trust the process. We've implemented this thing 5 years ago of removing my number and giving everybody wings to fly. And now I just have to believe in it, you know, and I think it's good. I think it's great, you know. And I do check in, and, you know, there's a few people that check in with me, and that always makes me feel good because then I feel important again or something. So my ego gets like a little bit on vacay. I'm like, yeah, somebody call me.
Well, I remember sitting at the breakfast table, and you and Rye were kind of dealing with big, almost really expensive problem popped up.
Yeah.
But I mean, it was an error on a kind of computational side of things that she caught. And you guys managed while we were just having coffee.
I tried to block that out of my memory.
You want to talk about that?
I mean, we can.
It's not. I mean, it's kind of. It's not really funny. It was kind of scary. It's scary, funny.
I don't think I get that scared about it. I mean, in the moment, I might seem frazzled and whatever, but I'm kind of like, to me, if like my house isn't on fire, literally, and everybody's healthy, I can work through anything. So like I do get stressed out in the moment, and I'm like, wow, this really sucks, but somebody's going to have to be responsible for it. It's not me because it's not our fault, but I guess so that people understand what's going on, we had one of our vendors draft a payment out of our account 3 times by accident. And it was a glitch in the software, and it was pretty intense because it was a 6-digit bill, and we times three. And so, yeah, we had to make sure that we could make payroll and everything. Cause honestly, like I think in my company, like paying all the bills is important, but making payroll is by far the most important. Because everybody is dedicated and here working hard to provide for their life outside of work. And whether that's a single life or a family, that's why we're really working, is to make money to provide for ourselves or our families, so that we can exist. It's not like hunter-gatherer time where you have to go find a squirrel to eat. It's like you just got to like work hard and get it going and get a paycheck and make it rain.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, sitting there for me watching that happen, I was like, damn, that's crazy. That's a crazy error, but you and Rye sort of just kind of handled it. You went up the chain of command and contacted the jefe of the vendor and calmly and clearly communicated the issues. And
it's funny because I've learned a lot, and I think it's kind of helped counseling of like pumping the brakes is what I call it to myself, and millions of people probably use that terminology. But when that happened, my first thought was, I'm calling the owner and I'm closing my account and I'm going to be really mean. And that's what's going on in my head. I'm telling this guy, pull the account, blah, 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 and give me free material for a year and blah, all this stuff. And then I go to pick up the call and I'm like, okay, that's not going to benefit anyone, even me. If I go into that conversation like that, threatening, then I'm hurting that person, freaking them out, which makes them not able to operate clearly and help fix the issue. It's not necessarily their fault. I mean, yes, technically it is, but it's a glitch, And then I've got to find a whole new company to work with. So, like, what the heck? I'm going to make like so much more work for myself by threatening and pulling and doing all these things. So why don't I just try to work towards a solution? And I called them and I was like, this is a problem and we need to figure it out. And like needs to happen like yesterday, and we can't go back in time. So what are we going to do today to like amend it? And it's tough on a Friday. Anytime you have to deal with anything with banking, it doesn't post till Monday. So then I had to like get into the acceptance part of it all and just be like, it is what it is, and years ago, I forget who it was. I think it was Garth Reed, who's like a hilarious guy. I call him all the time because he makes me laugh. And I really like him and his family a lot. But he said, you need a credit line. And I didn't know what that was. And I was like, what do I need a credit line for? I have a credit card or whatever. And for the past 3 years, Courtney and I have been working on getting this credit line with Carter Bank, which shout out to Carter Bank for getting her done and doing it. And it's been great. And it's like a thing you don't necessarily want to use, but it's there in case you need it. And knowing that I had that credit line in place, it's like insurance. Like you pay for insurance and hope that you never use it. Credit line, you have it there, you pay to get it set up, and then you hope to never use it. But if you have to, you have instantaneous funds that you can pull.
So what's the difference between a really good credit card and a credit line?
A credit line, you just put cash in your bank account. So like if you need to make payroll, if you need to pay a vendor, like, you have a 90-day draw schedule on a government job, and you have vendors working there starting on day 1 and needing to get paid on day 5, but you can't draw for 90 days. You can pay them out of the money that you've held back for a long time and saved, or you can use your credit line and pay a small interest fee on it, or an interest free. I don't know if it's necessarily small or not. Who knows what small is anymore with that stuff. But so yeah, it's like borrowing from a bank in order to keep payments going, and then when you're supposed to, when you get your draw, then pay back your credit line plus the couple $100 that it costs to use it. So that's all it is, and it's a powerful tool, because honestly, that's one of the reasons I was able to be pretty calm in that moment. Was I knew I had a credit line that I can use if I needed to. Yeah. And having a good relationship with your bank is very important in business. You need to be able to call them and talk through things and explain things and have a direct line. I mean, that's the ultimate goal, is to have your banker's cell phone number, so you can be like, yo, I got a problem in Colorado. But it went fine. And I think those are all the components that helped me get through. And it's funny because it's like, we talk about relationships on here a lot and how important it is. And I have a good relationship with Garth. He told me to get a credit line, that I should have one. And it had weight because I believe in what he does. And I was like, yeah, I'll look into that. And it took me a little while to look into it and figure it out. But I'm really grateful I did, because that day could have ruined my vacation if I didn't have a credit line. Yeah. That security. But no. Me and Rye worked through it. Rye's doing great. She's crushing it. We're working together and figuring that out. Yeah. Trying not to talk about work at home as much.
How's that going?
It's fine.
Just have to stay in different rooms.
I have to. We live in 2 different houses now. We see each other at work. I have to retrain my mind, because I think I've been saying, or we said earlier, trying to get my number off of all the ether webs and inner stuff, the signs and all that, was to protect me from having to deal with work 24/7. And I have to know that, because I think my mindset gets one track sometimes. I'm like, I can't talk about work after 5. I don't want to, but I do it all the time. And so with Rye, I think I have to ease into it, because she's new and she needs the guidance and support. And I don't want to be like, I don't talk about work after. Yeah. So I have to have some balance there with her. And it's been fine. I mean, it's been great, actually. I mean, she's a rock star and she's doing a good job. And
it's also exciting too.
It is exciting
to work for a good company that's got a lot going on. Yeah. And be so involved at a deep level and actually be rewarded for like the passion you put into it. Yeah. I remember we found a nice apron. You were cooking breakfast one morning on the mountain.
I cook breakfast almost every morning.
It was awesome. I mean, you were the brunch master. And you were making bacon, eggs, sausage, and you needed an apron. You didn't want to get the bacon grease on your nice shirt. So I found you an apron that was had candy all over it, but it's a Las Vegas apron. And it reminded me of how they just announced the International Builder Show in Las Vegas. And they said
NRSBECY.
NHIB, National Home, I don't know. IBS.
It's IBS.
But I got excited. I was like, oh, yeah, they just announced 100 days until the next one. Are we going? 100 days? It was back then, a couple weeks ago. So
I thought we already went to one this year.
Well, they announced 100 days until something.
Oh, so it's 1 year in between. But yeah, we're going.
And I was like, we got to go. Dude, me and you, going, dude. Bro. I want to go with you. And that's kind of the reaction you had. Because I thought it would be so fun to not only go to Vegas with you, but mostly just to make our video together at the conference. Because
I'd go. I might go.
I think it would be so much fun to do it with you this year. And and you kind of shut off. You shut down. You shut me down. You didn't talking about it. And I was like, talking about work on vacation. Better
it's fine.
Zip it. But guys, leave a comment if you want to see Matt in Vegas. In a documentary series for Omnibuild.
I might go. I don't know. We'll see. I got to talk to significant others, my family, and see what dates and
Bring
everything.
them.
Bring them. They would hate to go to that. They'd be like, "What are we going to walk around?"
They don't have to go to the conference.
They can go.
I mean,
gamble.
maybe Rye would want to, but I mean, there's a lot to do.
Me and Rye might go. We got to see what's up. I got an elk.
No pressure.
I got an elk hunt coming.
I mean, we can always make a video with Soints.
I'm gonna try to go.
It would be really fun.
Yeah. I want to shout out Land of Enchantment trophy hunting.
Yeah.
Dude, they're awesome.
You just signed up to do another tour with them, right?
Yeah.
Is that what you call it, a tour?
Or guided hunt.
Guided hunt.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's a very old company out in New Mexico. My buddy Jared connected me with them. He's really good at vetting out like good people to work with, and they are great. And Corey Sexton's the owner, and last year I just had a bomb. It was a blast. It was like push the limits of me physically, and it was beautiful countryside. It was very professional. I just had a blast, so I'm doing it again. I don't think I'll do it every year.
We'll see.
I mean, there's a chance. But I enjoy it because that is probably like I do things like we go on family vacation, which is great because I'm with the family. I go to these work conferences. Like I got to go to Louisiana in August for a national class again. It's my last one. But all of it's like I'm on like mentally and everything like that. And this is that one time a year where I get to completely disengage mentally on everything. And it's like a boot of my system. Mm-hmm. And that's what happened to me last year. I felt like different when I got home, and I felt better and was like, oh, okay. And I got, so anyway, and it forces me to want to get, I don't know, exercise is the right word, get a little more in shape so that, I can actually do what's required of me out there. So yeah, I'm excited about it.
It's going to be awesome.
Stoked.
You got any room in your freezer for more elk?
Sure, yeah, I do.
You can always get another freezer.
No, I got room. I got room. I got to look into it, see if somebody will butcher it out there. Because last year, me and Rye did it. I brought it home, and it's a lot. So you get home, and you're like, oh, God, I just drove for 2.5 days. Let's butcher a whole elk in the kitchen for the next 2 days. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. But, yeah, I'm pretty excited about that. And, other than that, we're doing an addition on The Office.
Oh, yeah. I saw the plans. It looks like it's going to be nice.
Yeah, we've grown too much, and we have too many people just sitting like in these cubicle things in there, and it's cross conversations, and it's too much and noise, and it's hard to focus. And so we did a conference room, which has been great because we can bring clients in there, and the conference room has become like me and Courtney's office. But we get out of there when there's like meetings in there. So we are doing 8 offices.
They're not cubicles, they're actual rooms?
Enclosed, yeah.
Well, that'll be really helpful.
With a back deck, so covered that you can go sit down and have a conversation. The architect guy that we've been working with, design guy, Total House, great dude. He designed in phone booths, which is kind of interesting.
What?
They're soundproof phone booth that you can sit in and have a conversation.
Nice.
And we're not doing them right now, but like I thought that was an interesting observation because that was like one of the things that we noted. Like, and I think we have 12 to 14 people in the office here and there. I don't actually know if that's right, but somewhere in more than 8. So we still have to be conscientious of that because those phone conversations are a lot, and then now we got to figure out who's getting offices and who's not. So a little bit tricky. And then, so that's kind of a cool thing. now. Feels like we've taken our pull-ups off. Like we've had like strap-on diapers and we've been changing them and stuff like that. But now we're on pull-ups, dude. So we're
doing it yourself.
We're building an office. We've taken a level up.
Yeah.
So.
But you're still crapping your pants?
Yeah. It happens, dude.
Are you taking the pull-ups off? Or are you putting them on?
No, it just means that like when you say babies have to learn to walk or crawl before they walk, you go from full diaper to pull-ups. It's the next level up, dude. And
I don't know, man. I'm in the cloth diaper world. Dude, I don't know what's going on.
we'll be in boxers brief soon enough. But it feels pretty good. I'm pretty excited about leveling up on that. I feel like whether we are a bigger company or I feel like it makes it more professional. Like we're bringing in people. Like we hired a guy who owned his own business for a long time. Was very successful. He's a good friend. He's a great guy. He's super intelligent. He doesn't need to sit in a cubicle and try and work with earphones on. You know, he needs an office. You know, we need to be able to offer that to the people we're pulling in. And
yeah, you don't want people to say like, "Oh, I worked from home and I got so much more done." Yeah. You know, you want them to say, "The office is productive. Every time I go there, I'm inspired to get my shit done, and I'm feeling like everything's moving." Not, "Oh, somebody mentioned the parking lot, and then there was a 30-minute debate on whose spots were whose."
Yeah, I'm figuring that out too because we do have limited parking. So we like to park in Dan's spots as much as we can.
I got like 6 of them, so
yeah, it's true. You're kind of growing too. But yeah, I mean, I'm pretty excited about it, and we've implemented some new things. Like we have 3 new positions. They're newer. Maybe 4, maybe 5. I don't know, maybe 6 actually. But one of them is the whole billing department is kind of grown, and with Deb and kind of leading that charge with Courtney and Rye. You know, they're all kind of developing a new billing zone, which we've always had Jody there, and Jody crushed it, but she did way too much for one person. So now we have kind of a department. And so that's a new zone of the company. And then we have a new scheduling, which Christy's been doing, and it's very painful because it's hard. You're trying to pin down a schedule on a moving target. So like imagine hunting and your target's going like this, and you're trying to figure out which one to shoot and when, you know. And so it's a tricky thing. And I kept saying to Christy, this is going to take like 6 months. And now I'm like, it's going to take a year. And then I'm like, it's just never going to be done. Like it's just an ever evolving thing that we have to be okay with. Because I think if we set an expectation that this is going to be perfect by a year, it's a false expectation that we're just going to be let down all the time. And so it's just a complicated thing.
It's a logistics nightmare that you probably need somebody to fully devote.
Yeah, not AI.
Full-time energy. Maybe assisted by AI, but
no, AI bad.
AI bad for scheduling?
AI bad for all.
AI bad for humanity?
Yes.
Yeah.
It takes a human element out.
Well, yeah.
When somebody sends me an email that is generated by AI, they're not actually participating at the same level. So they're doing less involvement, and I feel it.
Yeah.
And I don't want the clients to feel that. I'm a non-AI.
Yeah. I guess I was just saying AI.
Can you cut that out?
No,
so I don't get a laser beam shot at my house tonight at a spaceship.
I guess I was just saying AI leveraged by the human element of like leveraging the scheduling automation.
Full pen and paper.
Oof.
Dude, sticky notes.
That is going to be magnets.
Tough. No, it's not, because you just unstick it and stick it here and then stick it here, and then I like it.
Yeah.
I mean, we do digital. Don't. I'm fibbing to a degree.
Yeah, the whiteboard method combined with.
We like the visual, and there's so many people that are part of it that you got to be able to go look at a big thing on the wall and just, because it helps. There's an element of it that I think is important when you're just staring at a screen nonstop and you're trying to scroll through and see, well, this part of the schedule and this part. But when you can look at a 8-foot wall of the big master schedule and understand it, because we have overlapping things. I mean, we're framing 4 to 5 things at a time. We're drywalling 4 to 5 things. We're wiring 12 things. We're plumbing 18 things. There's so many things, moving parts and pieces. It gets a little complicated, So Christy's doing a great job. It's challenging, and it's gonna be a challenge. It's a tough job.
Lots of different colored sticky notes.
Yes, good thing I'm not colorblind, because I'd be like, but it's going good. It's going good, and here's the thing I was talking about before. I'm believing in it. It's gonna happen. I'm not a part of the problem. I'm gonna be a part of the solution. So like when it's not going well, then I know that I need to step in. And that's one of the things Courtney and I are having, these little ad hoc meetings, like little committees here recently, of like working through instrumental issues instead of being like, oh, it's just a problem. Oh, it's not working. I'm like Courtney and me are like, let's just figure it out. Let's just sit down. It's not broken. It's going good. Change our mindset on it. It's like positive affirmations really make a difference. If you wake up in the morning and think your life sucks and that's how you carry through the day, that's what it's going to be like. And if you wake up and even though some of the things suck and you say today's going to be good and I'm going to crush it and I'm going to do as best I can, you'll be surprised if you do that and remind yourself for 2 weeks or a month every morning. And I've done it for years. I learned it because I felt the sense of impending doom for a long time. And I trained myself to, it's a problem, but I'm going to be okay. And I'm going to find the resources to be able to work through it, So the other departments, going back to department zone, is the estimating. And we've kind of changed that initiation, so Brooke's really heavy-handed in that new client. And then it goes into this kind of new system, which is digital, which is another schedule of like who's in where, what stages are they at in the bid process or design or whatever. And then Spencer's involved, and Spencer's organizing it again. There's another layer. And then Ian is involved, and Ian is doing a lot of the kind of estimating, up front loading, pulling pictures of plans and putting them in specs so that our vendors can actually just go direct to what they're responsible for. And so that's a new department that's in heavy development, which has been going great. And then we've brought in superintendents, which is 3-zone department at the moment. It's electrical, and then it's like electrical / plumbing. And then which we've pulled Kenny in to manage that right now. And now Shay manages the whole plumbing department. But I'm trying to get Kenny to support Shay with some of the mundane day-to-day type of stuff. And we're getting into that a little bit here soon. We have Cody and Justin Miller. And Justin Miller's kind of over wood is what we're calling it.
Woodman. Does he know?
I bought a Woodman hat. I actually just thought of that. And Flora, I'm going to start wearing it. I should have worn it today.
It says Woodman on it?
No, it's Flatwood hunting. Shout out
Flatwood.
I met him in this swamp in Florida, and I bought a hat off him, and he was a super cool guy. And he hunts and just posted online. And he's super nice, and I met him at this swamp, and it was very impromptu and random, and it worked out. I got a hat. It was good. It was a cool hat too. So, when I say wood, I mean like framing, trim, those types of things that are tied to framing. So Courtney and I met yesterday. We're developing it. So instead of me and Courtney trying to figure out what they think their roles are going to be, we've kind of isolated the two main parts. And then we're going to ask them what parts attached to them. So Justin may say, well, roofing's attached to the framing. It literally is, but in a way where I should oversee that aspect of it. And Cody is doing foundations and things. So he's got part plumbing, part concrete, part grading. So we're trying to ask them like, hey, what parts are you feeling like you should be responsible for and helping guide them. And it's been tricky.
Yeah.
It's tricky, and it's actually working out. And when it really works, it's going to be an unstoppable force with the employees that we have. And then we have all of our foremen, and we have all of our crew workers and things like that. And we've just got a really good system going on. And I feel confident about it.
Have you always felt this way about Omnibuild? Because it seems like from the outside perspective looking in, from my point of view, you're already successful at what you do, and you have been since I met you.
Yeah.
And so, like, is that something that drives you as just your personality type to constantly refine and reinvent? Or do you think you'll settle on, like, the best process eventually? Or do you think you'll have to continue?
That's a good question. I smiled because I looked at your new shoes, and I was like, wow, those are fancy.
Dude.
Wow.
They're for a wedding. I'm breaking them in.
Wow. So that's a good question, because so when Noah, Courtney, Abel, and myself started this business, it was at the library. So thank you to Floyd County Library, the
Nice.
Montgomery Library System. We sat in the back room there, and we were able to talk a little bit. You're supposed to be quiet in libraries, and we would brainstorm and come up with things. And so the four of us, and Abel's a little bit out of that a tiny bit, only because he was more of a field man than he was like in the think tank of like designing the infrastructure. It's funny because Courtney and I have said recently, we've always been talking about this system, and it's just coming to fruition. And what happens when you create a system? So I think what happens is like you have this globe, and you're like, this is it. And then there's all these little things that come off of it. And then you say, okay, well, we got this general mission and thing that we want to do. And then we add that one tentacle, and then that other one, and then the other one, and then the other one. And then when you add them, you're like, yeah, it's going. And then you're like, ooh, that one needs like 4 more off of it. You know, so you have the big one, the little one, and then 4 more, and then maybe even more off the little ones. And so that's kind of the stage we're in, is figuring out like all the tentacles coming off. So like the estimating. Mm-hmm. We brought Spencer in to do estimating. Spencer moved up in the project management. Spencer's moving out of project management into a different management zone of the company. And now we've realized that we need like 2 or 3 people in that zone. But then part of the estimating needs specs and selections, so that we have somebody can sit with the client, figure out things. So that area is developing. And now they're like a cohesive team. And that was one of the other things I was going to talk about before, was that section of the company, specs and selections, which Haley is crushing with Olivia. You know, it's another zone of the company that keeps growing. But going back to the kind of setup, we knew what we wanted as the sphere in the middle, and we knew that it would take these other things coming off it. I think the thing we didn't know was all the other ones. And so this is a hilarious thing that I think about a lot, and it's probably not funny to anybody else, but it is to me. I not educated in this. I didn't go to college for this. I've taken lots of classes since I've started to learn aspects of things that I needed to. I chose the trades and then grew into it. But what the fascinating piece for me is that I feel like I've created this model that's really epic and awesome, and I'm developing this new thing. But I think it's a common thing that everybody else is doing in successful construction companies that they went to school for. I'm figuring it out the hard way. I'm like, we're going to get through it and figure out this piece. And then I don't know really, you know, like I don't know if this is what everybody else does and if I'm a pioneer or not, you know, like I consider myself a pioneer because Courtney and I are figuring out the pieces as we go. And we're not necessarily reading books and going, we're figuring out organically. Like this kind of works, but we need to tweak it a little, and then add this layer to it, and then it kind of works. And so the thought of, have we reached success, or have we like reached the, what do you call that? The
zenith,
apex, or
the
zenith, or the diamond
yeah.
tip. It's who knows, dude? I mean, every time I think I figured it out, I like learn something new and figure it out. And how much we can grow, I don't know. You know, I know we have a great team of people, and I care about them all a lot. And it's important for me to keep enough work for everybody to keep food on the table and make money and do things. And the thought of that changing breaks my heart. Like the thought of losing my company, I think bothers me more of 55 people having to go find another job. That I think bothers me more than anything else with it. That, those types of things, I'll deal with all that. I'll like do whatever it takes. But the thought of having to have a meeting, that's what scares me and keeps me up at night. To 55 people and say, hey guys, sorry, and gals, we're shutting down. It kills me. Like, to do that. It's one of my greatest fears.
Yeah, I see that in you. It's one of the qualities of your leadership that I think people are attracted to, because it's obvious that your caringness is authentic. Just quick about the tentacles. How many tentacles are there? Are there 8?
I don't know. A lot.
It sounds less like an octopus, more like a omnipus.
So the hilarious. Speaking of octopus,
there it is, dude.
It's my sea arm, because I came from the ocean, not literally, but I grew up there. So there's ocean things on that arm. It's kind of whatever. I haven't got a tattoo in a long time. These are all fine, but some of them I'm like, why did I get that? But it's all good. One
day
you
can make up a new story every time.
I do, because it changes. I'm like, I got that because this week I feel like, and I wear an arm sleeve on this arm. I'm trying it because I've got nerve damage, I found out, in the arm, and I can't let it be exposed to the sun too much. Getting old, bro. Dude. I looked in the mirror. I was like, oh man, I got some grays, baby. But I don't know. But what I was going to get at with the tentacles and how many, Courtney printed this beautiful summary of everyone's positions and what their responsibilities was and all these things. And it was amazing. And I was like, wow. And I thought it looked great. And then we had a meeting about this tentacle thing that we just invented the terminology for. And she goes, give me that paper. And she's like, no, we're changing it. And I was like, that's cool. And so that's what I love about her, is that she's creative and resilient and durable and has a creative mind. And so I think I looked at that as not like a failure on her part of making this sheet that didn't make sense. I look at it as an achievement on our part of like, we just had a really productive meeting and figured out lots of responsibilities of people. And it's slightly tweaked from what we thought it was 2 weeks ago. And we've been evolving nonstop since I don't think there's a point where we stop evolving. I think as long as people still want to hire us to do work and the work keeps rolling in, and then we're just going to keep evolving. We have big projects on the horizon, like quite possibly the largest job we've ever done.
Oh, I can't wait.
I don't know. I got a t-shirt. Some people have asked me on Instagram, I think I know what it is. I'm like, yeah, you might.
I know what it is.
Yeah, maybe you do. I haven't told you what happened last night.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like as the company grows, you have to sort of be flexible to be able to navigate that. Otherwise, you'll just have to, you can have a very structured business model where people climb up the chain or the ladder of hierarchy that goes to that top point, or you have something that works more symbiotically, like an omnipus or an octopus, or so
sounds really cool.
It's a really cool term. I think it's gonna stick. So make a t-shirt or a hat.
Going to,
but because like those people you're moving into new positions, when they sign in to work for Omnibuild, they might be like, oh, I want to be a project manager. That sounds like a great career.
Mm-hmm.
But then all of a sudden you learn about what they're good at, and then the needs of the company change, and you're like, actually, you're going to be doing this other thing too.
Yeah.
And navigating that. So I was curious how you not only find people to be adaptable in the situation of growth, or do you coach them through the process of?
I think it's like, yeah, it's interesting that you brought that up, just because we just literally had this exact thing happen. And I think it's weird. Like, there's places in the world where if you can't do it, it just naturally pushes you out. Mm-hmm. And I think like Floyd's like that. Floyd's a little tough in the winter. You're a little more homebound. It's cold. You're left here a little bit of your own devices of like having to entertain yourself or keep yourself chill. It's not like Alaska by any means, but I've seen it where people move here and summer's fun. There's, Thursday night thing that Dylan puts on in town, and there's a jamboree, and there's just the farmer's market and all these fun things to do. And then winter comes and it's like, and there's like quiet, and you have to have some inward time. And if you can't really deal with that, then it's an uncomfortable place to live. And New York City's the same way. New York City, if you can't just walk down the road and not acknowledge people and like be fine with seeing 1.5 million people a day and not talk to one of them or say hi, then it's really not the right place for you, and it'll chew you up and spit you out. And I'm not saying that Omnibuild's like that, but I think we have a model of adaptability. And we hired a girl years ago, and she's used to getting a sheet of paper that says, this is your responsibilities every day. And you do this and you check them off. Didn't work in our model. And so after a few weeks, she's like, this isn't the right fit for me. And it wasn't a bad deal. It was just like, we're not like that. And so our model, I think once you get in it, it figures it out pretty quick. If you're not self-motivated and adaptable and things like that, it just doesn't feel right. And it's kind of hard to exist in, and so we try to do a good job of explaining that in the interview process. And that's why we've invited more people into the interview process. Like the last one, I think we had Matt, Spencer, I don't know who else, Courtney, definitely, and me. And, I think it's to give a real-time perspective. Tyler came in to tell that person what it's been like for them. And it makes me nervous a little bit because I'm like, is it bad? And then I'm like, it's almost a requirement that, yes, we're hiring you, like just say, for instance, project management. But normally project management also has some kind of specialty. And somebody in their head may say, well, I don't have a specialty. And then my response is we haven't figured it out yet. Because it's true. It is kind of what it is. It's like, we're going to figure out what you bring to the table. And I think if you're open to it and you're listening and you're paying attention, you'll figure it out. Like, we hired a new girl who starts Monday, and she's not worked in construction. She's done some construction projects on her house. She has a small business of her own, so she's organized and she's got some things, and it's successful. I mean, she's been doing it for her entire adult life and is made and has kids and husband, and they seem happy and all that. So it's working. She wants to do something different to have a little bit of a different type of stability in her life. I think I'm speaking probably out of turn, but I envision it as, hey, I want to be a part of something rather than working alone most of the time. And that's a real thing, because I wouldn't want to work alone personally. Some people do it and do it great, and some people do it and then they need also to have something like this to fulfill something else. But anyway, she's very creative, and like, in my mind, I'm not trying to figure out what it is I think will be her specialty and tell her. I'm going to try to let it happen naturally. But my mind's wheels are turning already, and I'm like, she's a very creative person. And we have a lot of creative people, but not necessarily like this, where creativity is their first thing. And then like Tyler that came in, he's very technical. And Noah brought it up the other day in a meeting. And he's like, you're going to be jumping into the more technical specialty aspect, which is working out little things, doing little drawings, stuff like that on top of project management. And it felt really natural. I think we all sat there and was like, yeah, good. Yeah, that is what it is, And I don't think you even need to have a secondary specialty. It's like Matt Pace. He's a genius with roads, lot lines, parcels, all that type of stuff. So, we've never had anybody like that. So it's nice, trees, things like that. So it's been really nice to have him there in that aspect, So I don't think it's something that we tried to figure out in the hiring. We try to figure out if we think we can work with this person and if they're adaptable enough to kind of fit into a system that's not totally designated. Like you will get a job description, but it's a lot of self-motivation and a lot of putting yourself in the situation. It's like we talk about The Office and making it bigger and adding actual personal offices so people are encouraged to come to work, because I think that's where the magic happens. When you walk by somebody in the hallway and you're like, I'm struggling on this thing on this job. And they're like, well, let me take a look at it. Different set of eyes. Something happens. Luke was struggling on something the other day, trying to figure it out. And he's super smart. He's a great manager. And he's trying to figure out this roof line and sitting down with Noah and me. Not that we are smarter than him or anything. It's just a different perspective, because when you get so locked into yours, it's hard to see different angles of it anymore. And something really cool happened. And we, I think, left Luke feeling like there was a different path, or a path that he may have just missed by a hair. And none of the paths that he was going down was wrong. It's just a different thing. And I think that's a cool thing about working together, is what happens when that happens. So I'm pretty excited about this year. I'm feeling good about the work that we have coming up and going on. I feel good about the team. I feel really good about our crews. I'm hiring all sorts of people. I just got a call from a guy in Michigan who's going to be coming down, I hope, to work with us in plumbing.
Wow.
Sounds like the man. We've hired multiple people out of Michigan now. It's like our zone. I've always said, after a hurricane in Florida, let's advertise for employment down there and offer people relocation to get out of hurricanes. And maybe we need to be advertising in Michigan, because they do breed some good working people. It's been great. And yeah, we got Floyd Fest coming up. We're going to be dropping some vids with Sam on like some of the things we're doing. Hearts Media and Omnibuild is doing a giveaway this year with the
Just the Right Gear.
Just the Right
out
Gear.
of Salem.
Yeah, woman-owned company, bike company. We're super stoked. Yeah. We're going to be pumping her stuff. We got bikes that we're giving away, electric Cannondale bikes. That's a big deal.
Super cool.
Yeah, they're really nice. Like, you can ride from here to Floyd in like 3 minutes on them.
I've done it. Well, from work to home, which usually takes 15 minutes in a car.
That's impressive.
I did it in 20 minutes on a bike. And it's beautiful.
It's cool. And so you can win that bike for free, 2 of them.
Yeah.
And then we're going to giveaways with Just the Right Gear to all throughout the weekend. Helmets, whatever she decides to throw in, she'll be there and around talking to people about the bikes. We're excited to partner with a local company that's awesome and that's independent. Let's go. Let's do it. Let's make it rain on these people.
Except not at the festival.
No. Maybe just a little bit of rain
bit in the morning before the main act.
Yeah, and Garth Reed's going to be doing the water truck driving, so he's going to be working relentlessly, nonstop, 24/7 to make sure the dust is down on the roads.
I thought that was your gig.
I'm going to steal the water truck and drive it a few times when I need to sit in AC.
Nice.
And yeah, we're working out our cool merch drop for the year. We're feeling excited about that. And yeah, We should give away 2 Floyd Fest tickets on here.
Yeah. Sweet.
We're going to look at who's subscribed between the day we started and the next 2 weeks. Mm-hmm. And then we're going to put all those names in a hat and we're going to pull 2 winners.
Damn.
Yeah.
Weekend passes the Floyd Fest?
5-day pass.
5-day pass.
It's going down big time.
Holy cannoli.
Yeah, it's like cannoli with good filling and chocolate stuff.
Sorry, I started thinking about tentacles again.
So anyway, it's all good in the hood. Let's get some action going on here.
All right.
And then so I have all the hats coming. Mm-hmm. I owe everybody hats that have commented. I haven't forgot that.
They're commenting.
I don't have any hats right now, so that's why I just ordered them with Dynasty branding.
Nice.
Freaking rock it out, dude. She's awesome. Lacey and Tom, Leadfoot and Dynasty. And so they're coming. They're very cool hats, too.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
We'll have to rep them on one of the pods.
Sure. I'll do it. I'm going to wear my hunting hat next time because I got to shout out Flatwood, dude.
Yeah, for sure.
He's cool.
Swamp
cool
bro.
Swamp bro. Yeah, I saw a big snake in the swamp, too. A pit viper.
Wow.
Yeah, it was wild for sure. Me and Pod never saw one before.
A pit viper?
Yeah.
That sounds scary.
It's also called a cottonmouth. Just pit viper sounds way cooler.
Oh, yeah.
Sounds like I actually entered into a pit and wrestled a viper and won. Somewhat. I got damaged.
That's what the arm sleeve's for. Well, you have to get a tattoo to explain it.
No, I haven't gotten a tattoo in a long time. I got so Abby owns the Floyd Tattoo Shop.
Mm-hmm. Under the Sun tattoo.
Under the Sun, yep. It's amazing. And it's woman-owned company. It's a great company. I got free tattoos. And it's hilarious. I got a lot of tattoos. And she gave me free tattoos, and I never got another one. I was like, wow, dude.
Maybe you should give that card away to someone else, and then you'll...
I don't know if it's... I don't think anyone... It's got, like, my DNA. It's AI.
Double Helix AI.
Yeah, it's Double Helix AI.
Well, I'm glad we got to do this. Episode 14
finally.
in
Good
the
Lord.
bag.
Yeah, boy.
I think I was sort of foreseeing as the summer rolls out, as it gets busier, trips, festivals, work, all that.
There'll be a little
maybe
more.
bi-weekly if we can keep up with it. We were doing weekly as much as possible,
yeah.
but bi-weekly seemed like a more natural pace.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
All natural.
I'm going to be gone at a wedding next weekend, so...
I'm going to somewhere, maybe. No, I'm not. I'll do it by myself.
Sweet. I'll leave it rolling.
Don't turn anything off. I'll just come in. No, good. Have fun.
All right.
Good to see y'all. Thank you. Bye.